How David Goggins beat his own mind. What is the hardest battle you will ever face in life? It's not the competition outside. It's not the people who doubt you. It's not even the obstacles that block your path. The greatest enemy you will ever fight is your own mind. And nobody has lived this truth more brutally, more honestly, and more fearlessly than David Goggins. This is not the story of a man who was simply tough. This is the story of a man who was broken, overweight, abused, and trapped in darkness, yet found a way to transform himself into one of the toughest human beings alive. But the real victory was never against the world outside. The real victory was beating his own mind. David Goggins did not grow up strong. He grew up in a home filled with violence, fear, and pain. His father was abusive. His childhood was scarred with trauma. Imagine being a young boy, hiding in silence, powerless to stop the chaos around you. That was David's reality. By the time he was a teenager, he carried the weight of fear, insecurity, and doubt. He was not a natural-born athlete. He was not a genius. He was not the person anyone would expect to become a Navy SEAL. And yet, life was already whispering a message to him: your past does not define your future. By his early 20s, Goggins was lost. He weighed almost 300 pounds. Every time he looked in the mirror, he saw someone defeated. Someone who had given up. He worked a dead-end job, spraying for cockroaches at night, while dreaming of a better life during the day. But dreams don't come true unless you move. One night, while watching television, he saw a documentary about the Navy SEALs. He watched men being pushed to the very edge of human endurance, cold water, sleepless nights, brutal training. Most people would look at that and say, impossible, but something inside Goggins sparked. For the first time, he felt a fire. He thought, if they can do it, maybe I can too. But there was one problem. At 300 pounds, he was far beyond the weight limit, and with only a few months before SEAL training, nobody believed he could do it. Not even his own mind. Here is the truth most people never want to face: the first war is never against the world. It is against the voice in your head. That voice that says, you're not good enough, you've failed before, you'll fail again, why even try? David Goggins had to confront that voice every single day. And instead of running from it, he decided to fight it. He woke up before dawn. He stepped on the scale. He saw the number, and he hated it. But instead of giving up, he picked up the jump rope, he ran through the pain, he lifted through the doubt. Every day, his body screamed. Every day, his mind begged him to quit. But here's the secret Goggins discovered: you don't negotiate with your mind. You command it. And slowly, 1 pound at a time, 1 mile at a time, 1 day at a time, he began to change. After losing more than 100 pounds in just a few months, Goggins did the impossible. He qualified for Navy SEAL training. But qualifying was not the victory. The real test was about to begin: Hell Week. Hell Week is designed to break you. To crush your body, destroy your spirit, and shatter your will. Most men quit. Some are carried away on stretchers. Only a few make it through. For Goggins, it was not just about surviving the cold, the hunger, or the pain. It was about silencing the voice inside his head that kept whispering, "Go home, you're done, you can't do this." But Goggins refused to listen. He had made a decision. I will not quit, no matter what. And in the freezing water, with his body breaking down, he realized something powerful: the body can take almost anything. It's the mind that quits first. Most people quit when their mind tells them they are finished. When the pain feels unbearable. When the exhaustion screams louder than their will. But Goggins discovered something shocking: when your mind says you are done, you are actually only at 40% of your true capacity. Think about that. Every time you feel like quitting, when you believe you've reached your limit, you still have more than half of your strength left untapped. This became known as the 40% rule. And it changed everything. When his legs ached, he kept running. When his lungs burned, he kept pushing. When his mind screamed, "Stop," he whispered back, "This is just 40%. I'm not done yet." Here's what most people don't understand: your mind has a built-in governor. Just like a car that can't go beyond a certain speed, your brain limits you to protect you from pain and discomfort. But that governor is a liar. It tells you to stop not because you are truly broken, but because you are stepping into the unknown. David Goggins learned to push past that governor. He stopped negotiating with pain. He stopped listening to excuses. He started asking himself one powerful question: what if? What if I can go further? What if I can suffer longer? What if I can become stronger than I ever imagined? And every time he tested that question, he found the answer was the same: yes. You can. After becoming a Navy SEAL, Goggins didn't stop. He sought out even greater challenges. Why? Because he understood something most people fear: growth lives on the other side of pain. He ran ultramarathons, 100 miles, 200 miles, distances that break even the strongest athletes. Sometimes, he ran with broken bones, kidneys failing, feet covered in blisters. To the outside world, it looked insane. Why would anyone choose that kind of suffering? But for Goggins, every mile was a message. You are in control, not your pain, not your excuses, not your past. And with every race, he proved that the limits people accept as real are nothing more than illusions created by the mind. But here's a secret weapon Goggins used. He called it the cookie jar. What is it? It's the mental place where he stored every victory, every success, every moment he overcame the impossible. When he felt weak, he reached into the cookie jar. When he wanted to quit, he remembered the times he didn't. When the pain tried to crush him, he reminded himself, "I've been here before, I've suffered before, and I survived." And suddenly, what felt unbearable became bearable. What felt impossible became possible. The cookie jar is not just Goggins' weapon. It's a lesson for all of us. Every time you win a small battle, store it. Because one day, you will need to remember that you are stronger than you think. Just like hands get calloused from lifting heavy weights, the mind can also be calloused. Every time Goggins chose discomfort over comfort, every time he pushed through pain, he was building mental calluses. Why does this matter? Because life will hurt you. Life will break you down. Life will test you when you least expect it. And if your mind is soft, you will collapse. But if your mind is calloused, you will rise. Goggins turned suffering into strength. He turned pain into fuel. And he proved something the world will never forget: the mind, once stretched, never returns to its original limits. By now, David Goggins had proven to the world that he was no ordinary man. But the truth is, he was still the same boy who once hid in fear. The difference? He had learned to master his mind. He became a Navy SEAL, an Army Ranger, an Air Force tactical controller. He ran more than 60 ultra-endurance races. He broke records, he inspired millions, but above all, he proved that pain is not the enemy. The enemy is the story you tell yourself about pain. Why does the story of David Goggins hit so deeply? Because he is not superhuman. He is not genetically gifted. He is not someone who had an easy path. He is proof of something greater. That anyone can rise. That anyone can take control. That anyone can beat their own mind. Every time you feel weak, every time you hear that voice telling you to quit, remember this: you are only at 40%. You have so much more inside you. David Goggins doesn't live to inspire. He lives to test himself. But in testing himself, he leaves behind a message for all of us. You don't have to be the fastest. You don't have to be the strongest. You don't have to be born with special gifts. You just have to decide. Decide that you will not quit. Decide that you will not let your past control you. Decide that when your mind tells you to stop, you will keep going. Because in the end, the true victory is not against the world. The true victory is beating your own mind. So the next time you hear that voice inside saying, "You can't, you're done, why bother?" remember David Goggins. Remember the men who went from broken to unbreakable. From overweight to unstoppable. From victim to warrior. And remember this, your mind is your battlefield. And if you can win there, you can win anywhere. Thank you for watching this story. If it inspired you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs this reminder today. Stay strong. Stay unbreakable. And see you in the next story.